How's it going? How's it going today? Hi! God damn. You again! I'm happy to see you. So, how's it going, folks? How's it going? What's good? What are you doing? Personally, still working on leaky shit, I guess. Dishwasher fix did not work. But now it looks like it's working. Things were ordered. Problems were partially solved. There's nothing more permanent than a temporary fix, they say. And I hope that it's the case, because if not, I'm going to have the basement floor to be replaced. So, yeah. Let's pray. So you doing chess? Playing on light chess, elite chess? Well, at least that's where I was playing chess. It's a great website. But I know that there's some people that prefer chess.com. Let's go into this mode. Yeah, I believe that pretty much everything with chess is open source. We have some overlap. Q King! I don't remember the last time that I did a stream and that you were there. I'm happy to see you. Infinite Mapleception. Let's just get the chat on the screen. I never remember how to do these things. Here we go. That sounds about right. Let's scale that shit up. Whoop. Here we go. Let's just put a comment. That's perfect. We got it. We got it so bad. Now that I know how to click Windows key and drag things around. Oh my god, it's so easy. Alright. We in. Okay. So yesterday, we did everything but the actual projects. So, I don't know. Today we're going to try, I guess. We're going to try. So, alright. Alright. I fully know that if any one of you start, like, sending messages, I will get locked. And I'm all okay with that. I like it. I like interactions, folks. I like them. So today, we need to create a new table in our database. So we need to have something that fits with... that fits with this and our tags. Here we go. Alright. Alright. So now currently, if we're parsing, we have a bunch of tags. Now what we should probably do is have something that gives us how the tags are laid out so that we could do graphs with those tags. So the first thing that we thought about, that we spoke about yesterday, I still have the image. Whoops, that's not the goal here. So here should be the image. Here goes my 5 viewers. All right, so okay. So that was the image that we created yesterday. So we it would be a good idea to have another table that would point to an ID of a tag, where the tag is within the concept that we're querying. And I set the type, but here I'm conflicted. No, I shouldn't be conflicted. So this tag should probably show that it's a member. And this one should probably show the actual type of the tag. So when it's a member, I'm just trying to think if I have some broken theory. Look, I'm being dumb. Inside of type, we should probably have a bit that is there to tell us if there is some members to this ID. We should not put the type there. We should include the type over here. And we should probably have another byte to say if it's a member or not. And then put the actual type so that we don't have this new row of bullshit. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's read a little bit. We've got some chats and we spoke enough. So, win. Indeed, win. I missed this. What was the project? Project is we parse the kernel. We try to know when things change. We put it all in a database so that we can do something cool with it and create a website. So, for now, we're pretty much just doing the very base. So, I've created the backbone so that I can write some code and understand myself as much as possible. And yeah, so now we're pretty much just willing things into existing. So we're just hoping that I'm able to think of it and write it down as I should. So let's do a table. Let's do a table. This table should be pretty easy. So we have tag, we have... So we should have two tags here. So we should have first the main tag. So if we have a struct, let's write some shit down. Let's pull out the white paper. So if we have a struct... Oh god. So if we have a struct, we have a tag for this, and everything that is within the squiggly brackets. Oh god, what have I done? Let's start again. Yoop-de-doo. Okay. So let's call it st. So we have a struct, and what's within the squiggly brackets? So let's say we have an int. Those should have tags as well. So what we should have is the tag of the main. So we should have the ID of this and the ID of this. And then we should have the rank within the file. So within the struct, I mean. So where it is, so that we don't have to purely rely on the line number. And now here, the problem that I have is that I have no capacity to know which one is first, which one is last, if they were put back to back to back on one single line. So this is something that we're going to need to work on and find a way to solve. But for now, let's just get this started, right? Let's just try to get something that actually works. Let's go. All right. So 2 tag ID, 1 rank. Pretty easy, right? Or we're not going to get stun lock anymore. Am I right? No stun locks. Okay, so let's go check where my tags are. Sorry, this is a bit low. All right. All right. We did it. Okay. So here we have our tags. So right after, we're going to create our m tag content. And then we're going to create a table. Let me just copy that over and go like thing by thing. So m tag content. Whoop. So when I was talking about like the backbone, that's the backbone, okay? That's abstraction to the insane. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so the first thing that we should want is the TGID. That's all good, it makes sense. We do not want this to be auto increment. So let's kill this. The second thing that we want is member TGID. So let's call it mTGID, which should be the same thing. That's all good. After that, we don't need the type. We should only need the rank. Let's steal the include code for that, because I have that inside of my include. Here we go. Content right here. Boop. And do we need anything else? Not for now. Not for now. So we can leave it at that. So we have our... So we have ID of the struct. We will have ID of the member. And after that, we have the rank within the file. So that should be good. Now, we need to set which are the primary keys, which should be TGID combined with... Ooh. Should probably have rank in there. Yeah. So it should be TGID with rank, because we may have one tag that maybe repeats, so we wouldn't want that to be a limitation. Okay, so let's do this like that. Okay. So here our primary keys will be TGID and rank. Should probably rotate that around just so it visually makes sense. Yeah, so first TGID, then rank, then member TGID, our primary key TGID and rank. Then we need to tell it that TGID is a foreign key. So for that, I'll just steal that over here because I already made it. And I'm a lazy bastard. So let's get that going. 1 time and 2 time because we need it for member 2. Now I believe that the first one... Let me just check what I did in the past. Where is the time one? Okay, yes. That's how to do it. Okay. Okay, we good. We good. Do we have a default value that we set? Nope. So we say none to that. None. After that, what's the next question? Will it tell me, or do I have to guess? I guess I have to... You have to check. No guessing over here. Only big brains. Where is my table thingy? Table. All right. Okay. So no duplicates. That should be false. And the get list. Will we seek this? Will we try to get information from this while we're editing, while we're inside of our... while we're parsing the kernel? Will we need to get information from this and get multiple result? I guess we do, right? Yeah, for sure we're going to need this, because we're going to need the to give a TGID and return everything that is contained within to see what was in the past, to see if we need to edit anything related to that. Yeah, pretty easy. So let's make sure that this is on. So we need to say false, and after that, true. So let's go here. Where's my fin? Okay. So we go false, and then we go true. All right. So we have our new M tag content that has been created. We deserve a little bit of coffee. Oh my god, it's so small on the screen. I'm sorry. Here we go. Zoomed a bit. Yes, I guess it's better. All right. If you want to say anything, bring up any subject of conversation, you absolutely can, folks. Whoops, I think I fucked something up. Oh no. Oh yes, I did. Okay. Okay. No. Alright. We got it. We got it. Let's go. Okay. Hello, my friend. How's it going? So now, how do I want to do this? We need to re-implement how we add things onto our database because we did not have that tag content before. So let's actually make that work. But to make that work, this is going to be insanely complicated because I need to destroy what I already did. So Big Shot Maple is going to use none of his skill to try to do that. Alright. First thing first. Sorry, I'm trying to think about something, and I want to be sure that I'm not dumb. We need to know what type the thing is. Because right now, when we process our tags, let's just show what it does. Just show what it does. When we process our tags, it outputs like this. So what we're trying to work with is the member thing here. So let's zoom that in. And let's take anyone, okay? So those are members. So we don't know what a member is, right? We should probably know if it's an int, if it's a struct, if it's something else. That's probably a good idea to know that. Me forcing the entire thing to store all data in JSON. That's pretty much why I'm redoing this, okay? Bootlin uses Berkeley DB. I don't know if you know about it. I don't. And oh boy, I don't want to work with this shit. So yeah. But at the end, I'll make an API, and if you want to do some shit with it, I'll leave it open to anyone. So we're going to be able to do some fun things with that parsed data. Finally, catch your stream. What's going on? Well, Volt, we're parsing the kernel to try to get as much maybe useful, maybe not, information as possible. And at the end of that, the goal should be to make a website to visualize things better, or maybe have everything at the same place instead of in separate things. So one thing that would be cool is to do more than what Bootlin has, right? Because Bootlin right now, we can click on things, we can go see that page, we can search for things. So here, I know that you don't see because of my fat face, but I'm searching for folios and it tells me where they are. I want to re-implement this again, but I also want to do more, right? We should be able to know the end line of something. That would be a good start, right? That would be a good thing because we could then display it in a more concise way, right? It would be fun if we had a complete page, we had all of the function of the structs, and we were able to open it and then see the change inside of that specific struct and see when the change happened, not just to the file but the struct itself. So it would be fun if we had that capability online, right? Because I know that we already have that capability in Git, we already have that capability in a bunch of software, but we don't have it online. And that's, well, that's a big problem, right? At least for me it is, because big brain people, they will use Git and it will be okay. But people like me that try to learn the kernel and have a hard time with it, we need that. We need that crutch, right? So I'm kind of taking all of the ideas, taking all of the information, shoving it into a database, making the relation between things, and then me or the community will have access to the API and be able to do things with it. Another cool thing that I really wanted to do was also like link the mailing list to specific commits, because right now you need to search the mailing list in order to know if there's something that was created from the mailing list related to a commit. And it would be really fun if we could just like gloss over. We could just do this and it would tell us like a little bit like git blame, right? So if we go look at Linux, oh, go fuck yourself. I'm not getting memed on. All right, I did not take no for an answer. That sounds not good. All right, so if we go into a file, let's just go into that one. Oh, fuck me. Bro! Anyway, believe me, okay? Just believe me. So you can have blame and it will tell you which part of the file was changed by which commit. Now it would be fun if we were able to just put your cursor on it and it would pop up like the actual thread inside of the mailing list. That would be insanely cool and it would help so much. And it would also help to be able to, well, like not only have the commit which the change was created in, but also have the merge commit, because sometimes information is split between multiple of these commits, right? So putting all of that together to answer that, oh, you got to go? Have a great day, my friend. Happy to see you. I'll be there tonight if you're vibing for that. But I know that it's late in your part of the world. But anyway, love that you passed by. Thank you. All right. So, like sometimes things are in separate commits and it's all very complicated. So it would be very fun and it would help a lot with the videos to be able in like one drag of the mouse be able to see all that, and it would help me do videos without over-relying so much with Phoronix, because Phoronix, I love them. Well, him, because it's only one guy that's carrying this shit. I love him to death, but let's be honest, the minutes that he says, you know what, I'm fucking done, and I'm not writing this shit anymore, we're screwed, alright? We're completely screwed. So half of the knowledge of how Linux works will be dead and nobody will understand what the new releases are. Like, I know that there's LWN, but LWN is a little bit closer to what I'm doing, which is just copying what I see in the mailing list and like dropping it and being like, that's the change that I understood and deal with it. While Michael, I believe his name is Michael from Phoronix, well, I mean, he goes into it, right? He gives you detail. He tells you where where this change comes from, and that's very useful, right? So I want to make the boring part, which is seeing what change happened to the kernel, seeing where the change is, seeing what that change actually does. I want to make that boring part easier so that we can focus on everything else, right? Hello, my friend. I'm going great. I hope you are too. Let me just read a little bit of the comment. I don't want to skip anything. So, why use Git while you have Control Z? Based. That's exactly what I'm doing. There's been a couple of times where I made a change and I'm like, oh shit, what change did I made yesterday? And I screwed everything over. And it's like Control Z was there, but I restarted the computer. Guess I'm screwed. Is this a tool to help you with your main videos? That's what I was answering. Something going on with GitHub today. Absolutely. Phoronix the GOAT. I agree. Greetings. I apologize for missing the other streams. Even if I am intrigued, didn't have the spare time. That's all good, brother. You don't have a responsibility to, or an obligation, I mean, to watch my streams. Like, I'll be there and I won't go away. I think that it's way funnier for me, well, at least I like it more, to do like 2 lines of code and then talk to you, and then do 2 lines of code and then talk to you, because what happens is I wake up the next day and I'm like, oh, that was my mistake. So instead of waiting 3 hours of my day trying to debug whatever, I'll actually do something productive for that 15 minutes that I actually code off stream. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. It's a good thing to like follow your promises. And I gotta say, I did not do that lately. By lately, I mean like the last 6 months. So that's why I pretty much said in the last two kernel videos, screw this, and I'm not I'm not doing any other videos than the kernel. Bon appetit and have a good stream. Well, have a good day, my friend. Happy that you passed by, and now I know that this is a smiley face, so I'm happy for it. And yeah, have fun, and if you've time tonight, I'll be there. So, now that we've explained a bit what I'm doing, and if anybody has any questions, of course, you can go ahead and ask them. Um, we're going to get this working. So now we should find a new command for ctag that doesn't only give us what the thing technically is, but what, if it's a member, we should also try to know it's a member of what. And then the second thing is we should have this in order that the ctags find it, not in like we should have it in reading order, not in grammatical order, like from A to Z. Because right now it does it from A to Z, so that's not good. That needs to be fixed. So let's just start with the A to Z, because I feel that that's going to be the easiest thing. So ctags return in reading order. Let's just have a quick check to see if it would. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get this. I guess searching order in that. Okay, tag file. Order read from file, list of tags, should be read, standard input. Sadly, I have to go make dinner. Have a nice stream. Thank you for passing by, and by the by, again, thank you for everything that you're doing, for the server, for the Discord server, it's really appreciated, so thank you. First time seeing someone use Bing on Linux, indeed. Is this lowering? Holy shit. I feel like I end up like speaking like this. Is it because... Let's stretch out the back a little bit, right? Okay, I think we got it. Yes, I like Bing. First, because of the reward. Second of all, I mean, I don't know. Bing gives me good results, right? Google gives me a good result too. It's just that Google is a little bit more follow-y. I don't know how to say it, but Google will over-index on what you search before, and it can become a problem. That's why before I was using DuckDuckGo, but DuckDuckGo can be absolute garbage lately. Phew, I don't know how, because I thought the backbone of Bing was the same as DuckDuckGo, but somehow it's absolute garbage. Have a good day. If you're saying that to the other person, that's good. If you're not, well, have a good day to you too. Indeed, it's a strange combination. Did I even notice? Yeah, modern Google ain't a Googleplex. It ain't good. It ain't good. Let's just put it that way. Not that I don't like it. Like, it works, and I use their AI. Their AI works good. All right, let's read a little bit, even if I'm like the worst person to read ever. Note, a file is read in line-oriented mode. New line delimiter is considered significant in order that the file contain... Okay, no, that's not what we want. Let's go next thing. In order to add, that's not what we want. Apply the following test in order. Assumption in order to help. No, that's not what we want. In order to accept, no. In order for consistency, no. if any of these configuration. Okay, we're just talking about configuration. Shit. Oof. I heard good thing about Kagi search, but it's paid. I think I heard about it from somebody on the server. But yeah, there's other options. Searching for something specific don't work as good on DDG. What is DDG? D DuckDuckGo. Okay, I get it. Especially in my native tongue. That too. That too. As soon as you search like in French, it has its issues. But before it was, I at least I thought it was slightly better than Google because it like again Google over indexes on what you've searched before, so it will screw up your search. Yeah. Excuse me, but may I ask what exactly you're seeking pondering for? I have probably missed quiet the notes. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was completely mind bent. Right now, when I run my C tag, it will output in in order from A to Z, right? So we start at A and we end up at well Z or W. So this doesn't work. I need to have the order be when they arrived in the lines of code. So that's my issue here. I need the ctag command that fixes that. Now, how do I do this? Who the fuck knows? I think I'll just ask AI and they'll get this for me, I guess. Maybe there's no solution to this. Um, oh no, we're not talking about storing it. That part is already all done. I just want this to be done in the order of the file, right? Because if I go look at the code, we can go look at the actual one that I'm looking at. So what I would want is when we parse this, the first one should be argv0, after that it should be verbosity, after that it should be underscore msg. Like I want them to be in order like that because this will help a lot when it comes to parsing, to the actual processing of the parser, and it will also help when we have multiple declaration inside of the same line, because then I I don't know the order, but at least in the database they're going to be in order, and that's better than nothing. Can't you just use awk for that? Yeah, but doing a parser with awk is for C is fucking hell. Okay, it is. Just some Linux piping and grepping tricks could make it possible. If I don't do it at the C tag stage, I lose this within the line problem, right? Because I don't know if it's at the start of the line, I don't know if it's at the end. Only C tags has this information, and now after that, it gives me a line number. And I don't believe that C tag is able to give me from that character to that character that's this declaration. I don't think that C tag has this information, but it obviously knows when something like came into it. So we're going to AI this shit, I guess. So, hi, I have a ctags command and I'm trying to get the tags in order that that they come up in the file instead of alpha. What? Alphabetical order. Here is my command. we maybe will learn a bit or two. Is there a way to do this without external tools? Thanks. All right. Yeah, I am. Okay, good. But yes, I'm always trying to not. Also, that's just one rule. Whenever you do Python and shit, don't like pipe things into one another, because Python somehow is very very slow at going outside of itself. So as soon as you try to execute something outside of Python, like C tags, or you try to parse thing using awk or any, is going to be slower than just implementing it in Python. So I'm trying to like skip all of this stage as much as possible. A couple of streams ago, I was trying to of course do the ctag command, and we it took a bit more, right? Because by default, the simplest way to do it would be to grep things. Okay. Really? That's a command? No freaking way. I have a hard time believing that this even exists. Let's put it right here. Oh man, that's going to be erection inducing if it's true. Um, all right, let's go at the bottom. Okay, 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 that's good. Yeah, good. Apologies. Just now remembering the previous discussed goal again. A lot has happened. Oh, please don't apologize, my friend. I'm completely lost about anything I do. I'm not a professional. I don't do this for my job. I'm just a loser on the internet that likes to write things and that, well, I I'm just too triggered to go on, right? So for those that haven't heard the story, so I started this project after trying to make a video about XFS, and I was like, I feel like I'm doing things that could be automated. And here I am 6 months later still trying to automate it. So what is your job if it's not a secret? I'm working, well, not physically in, but I am a worker at a call center. So I receive calls, and it's health insurance, well, travel health insurance, because health insurance doesn't really exist in the same way in Canada. But yeah, so people are dying on the other side of the line, and that's me. That's like, hey, what's up, bro? You're dying. I got you covered. Oh, but we cannot say covered, but I got you covered still. So yeah, that's a fun thing. I like it. I like it. But no, I'm not qualified to do anything more than that. So yeah, it's just something that I like to fuck around. So now look. Here we have an opportunity to see if things are truly in order. So let's go see 497, not Obsidian, 497. Let's go check the line. 497. Pattern, pat 0, pat sec, pat pipe. Brain, pattern, pat 0, pat sec, pat pipe. All right. So it is in order. We got it. All right. So we've got our command. So you're also high on that sleep deprivation. Um, of course, always. That's being a father makes sleep deprivation like the way to go. But I mean, I'm I'm getting better at it, right? I'm trying to stabilize my life a little bit. Drink more coffee, and of course, the goal of any parent should be to give a better life to their child than the life that they well, than the start that they started with. So that's what I'm trying to do. So okay, we've got the command now. So let's just let's just do one thing at a time. Let's add this option that we added. Let's add it to the command that we're using inside of our system, just so we don't forget it and we don't make ourselves look like dummies. So, all right. I believe it's get tag right over here. We're going to be able to do this, then this. All right. So now things will not be sorted alphabetically. So with 5 cups of coffee. Yes. Oh, nice. Indeed, nice. We've got a command. Dreaming out the work onto the blank canvas. That's how true programmers program. Indeed. In my personal experience, which is this project, when I try to write code, I'm garbage at it. The second that I go like do something else, I'm like giga braining and I'm blasting out. I'm seeing through the matrix. So, aka copium. No, it's not copium. Okay, it's working. It is not being focused on something makes you understand it better somehow. Why? Who the f knows? Okay, so we've got that covered. Now, there was a second thing that we needed to do and that I completely forgot about. Yes, now I remember. We need to know what type something is, right? Because if you remember, that's good. Good on you, I guess. If you remember, good on you, but like, a member, you're what exactly? Are you int? Like, if we check here, we should. No, we shouldn't. Sorry, brain is getting damage. Okay. Okay, so we should have S size. Okay, screw me. I'm going to stop speaking and just do shit, okay? Line 423. We should find S size into this, okay? And what line? 423. All right. 423. We don't because it's a macro. We don't because it's a macro. Okay, okay. Faith restored. It's not supposed to to know what a macro is. All right. Okay. 422. We should be able to find 422. No? Hold on. Brain, please work. Why is my headset like dying? Can you still hear me? Okay, okay, we can still hear me. Let's put back the freaking music. Mozart, clutch, all right? Yeah, get that Mozart. You better freaking clutch. Ah. Okay, this is an internal thing, and this is why it's not being parsed. I think I get it. Yes, mind damage, my friend. Um, okay, so this is internal. This is why this is not getting parsed. I think I get it. So here we have a struct thread 343. This should be there. Here it is. What am I clicking on? I should... Man, my windows are triggering me. All right. Okay, file name is a member. Okay, now I found what I wanted to, I think. Let's go there. File name is a member. Okay, now it makes sense. So we have what is inside of this, right? Okay. Faith restored. We should be able to know what the F file name is, right? This is my issue here. That right now, if we look at this, it says, I'm a member. I don't care that you're a member. I want to know what the F you are. So that's the issue. How do I know that? All right. You know what? Why am I making this complicated on me? Thanks. It works. How should I go about also having the type of a member? Thanks. Always thank the AI. Just like the, the bus driver, I guess. Explore faster, bitch. Oh, the little cute things. Do you want to convert the text number into an actual state number? That's that's already been done. That was actually a problem that I had before, but that's solved. Oh, I think we got it. Oh, I think we got it. Oh boy, we got it. Look at this. This is going to work first try. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm happy. Okay. So now the only issue is we're going to have to parse the shit out of this. Oh, this is going to be bad. Oh man. Okay. I I feel bad about parsing all of this. Oh no, the order of things. We screwed it up. Oh, okay, it's because we okay. It's okay. It's okay. Whew. I was about to have a heart attack over here. I was like, oh, the order. Okay. Okay, let's try to find the thing that we were working on. We were working on thread, and that was a struct. So when we look at member, now it should tell us what the F it is. So what we should do is now change the code so we get this outputted. Now I'm thinking about how I should process this. May I ask if you have considered the indent too, just catching you if it slipped out of your gaze? Um, what do you mean by indent? I'm not sure. Because, um, look, I'm just going to implement this, and it may make sense to to the uh, to the watcher. All right. So let's take this. Let's add it to our thingy over here. Okay. So now it will be unsorted and we will have some idea of what the F it is. Now, normally we do some magic detection, we split it, but here the split will be screwed. So we need some way to give it a max, right? To say to it, split it only 3 times. I meant for parsing because you want to visualize it in the end too, yes? Yes and no. So that part, visualization, I see it in in 2 ways. First thing would be to just request from some kind of, well, request from Git the actual piece of code to display on screen. So because I have the starting line and the ending line of everything, I will be able to request the exact thing and just display it on screen if we want to. But the my concept of visualization is what I did. Um, my God, what I did for ext, the ext file system. So something that looks like this, right? Whoop, I clicked on it and I shouldn't. Right. So creating those tables for the structs, right? Because we would want some ways to display the structs where we could have some definition that could be user added afterwards. Like once you have everything in the database, it's very easy to add a column and just like add some comments onto it. So that's the idea, and I could also automatically parse some other comments uh, if of course I'm thinking about it, if I would want to. And later on the down the line, if we do implement everything correctly, we may be even able to know how many bytes each concept are depending on the architecture. Um, so that could be something that we could automatically calculate. So there's a bunch of fun things that we could do with it, but that's my idea of visualization, like putting it with maybe some colors, with um, putting it like that with some comments. That sounds to me like something that's easier to digest. Yeah, my lord, am I so stupid? You are not, my friend. You are asking some great questions. That makes sense. Why must my memory be like this? Brother, I have humiliated myself enough to know that we are all apes, all right? Are we technically? We're technically great apes, right? Yeah, that's the thing. People get offended when we say that we are monkeys because we are not part of the same line. We are great apes. Okay. My biological structures are failing me, indeed. Oh man, coffee is the best thing. But when I take too much, I start shaking. So I should probably slow a little bit on the drinking of it. All right. So now what we will need to do is to detect detect if it's a member. No, we're not at this point yet. Sorry. Brain is not there yet. We need to separate this into separate chunks, and we need to stop it because right now we're going to, if there's a space, let's just find somewhere that there's a space to make the example. Like here, there is some spaces over here. Those are going to get trapped and create like more items in our array, more items in our list. We don't want that, right? We only want this should be an item in our list. This should be an item. This should be an item. This should be an item. This should be a full item. And even if there are spaces, it should not be a new item. All right. Um, I know that RE, that the library for regular expression, does have a maximum that you can put. I don't know if the standard dot split for Python has. Oh, that's erection inducing. Holy shit. It does. All right. Okay. We are cooking. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 space. All right, 4. Boom. Whoops, I've screwed something real bad over here. Yep. I'm good at doing that, by the way. So if you get triggered, deal with it. All right. Okay, so now we've split. Yeah. Okay. So that works. Now we need to process a little bit that that new item inside of our list, right? We need to. I just want to make sure that I did not like overwrite something by mistake. I'm being uh Anyway, please focus on your thing. My autism is just annoyingly popping off without being able to help. Going to tone down for now. Please don't. I love speaking about it because when I speak about it, it helps me thinking about it, right? Because what happens is I get focused on something and nothing is coming out, and I'm just like, so like you asking questions make me think about, am I doing things correctly? And it also helps making the stream entertaining, because if I'm not talking, it's boring as shit, right? If I'm just there being in front of my code, not fun. So don't stop, my friend. You're doing good. You're doing real good. I love you. You don't have the physical or imaginary duck. I don't have a duck, but I do have a white. Whoops. I do have a white bird. You know what? Please stay half a minute. I'll go to pee, and right after, I'll bring out the little bird, okay? So, hi, new to the stream. What are we doing here? I'll explain it in a quick 30-second, okay? Don't move. Bathroom speedrun. Hi, my name is Emmy, because I'm a friend in French. Hi, how's it going? I am having fun. All right. So, um, quick explanation for you, my friend, which is new to the stream. So let's do this in this format. All right. What are you doing? What are you doing, Maple? So what we're doing is we're parsing the kernel, and we're trying to get all of the structs, all of the functions, and when those things change, and a bunch of other data, so that we can display it inside of a website using a big database with everything in it. Oh, isn't that freaking useless? Why should we do something like this? Well, because we currently do it for Bootlin, and it's really fun, it's really good, but I feel like we're underusing and undergetting all of the information instead of, well, actually doing something fun with it and displaying it so that people like me and a bunch of other dum-dums can see how things work instead of just having to watch some videos. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, Mabel. All right. We got it. So that was a high level explanation. Right now, more precisely, what we're doing is just trying to include the new part of our ctag command. So we did two modification. We removed the sorting inside of our ctag so that we can add things in order inside of our database. And the second thing that we've just add is having the type of a member so that we can actually include that data. I meant for insane speak to make sense of the system you're trying to create. Oh, okay. Yes. Now I get what you mean. You mean, yeah, having the ducky in the corner and like speaking to it in order to make sense. Yeah, that works. Sometimes I use my daughter for that, and yeah, my daughter is going to be insane. She's two, so she just looks at me and be. So it's kind of funny. Oh, nice. So it's like a docs website. Absolutely. Always wanted to get into kernel dev. Your videos has helped a lot. Happy to hear it. That's the goal. So let's get into it. So now we have a new item inside of our tag array, which should be at position 4, and it gives us the type of a member. So whenever we detect member, which member in our case should return a special code, let's go check. Okay, so member should return 6. So whenever whenever position 3 equals 6, we should probably parse. Yes, we need to parse that last part. So we need alternative code. Now let's just wait until this is finished. Let's go here. Let's do parsing of the type of a member. All right. So this we do if tags. Here we go. I open this at position 3 and is number 6. We enter this, and now because it's a member, we need to parse that information. All right. So there's a lot of thinking that needs to go into it, but I'm not sure that I want to think about that too much. Okay. First thing I want to know is if it's going to be of any use that we have this for non-member, right? So macros don't have it. Functions, ooh, it's useful for functions because it tells us what type of function it is. Oh God. And that's something that we probably should use. Hmm. Oh man. Okay. That's going to be something that we think about. Let's drink a little bit more coffee. Let's mix that sugar sloppy slurry. All right. Also, with the talk thing, it's just that I get very talkative when I am interested without me realizing. That's great. Like I said, don't stop. Don't worry about it. So I do apologize if it's annoying. It is not, my friend. It is never annoying. Yesterday, we literally did nothing but talk politics. So, well, I was also a little bit sleepy, so that didn't help. But hey, who cares? Okay, so members, we should probably detect what type of member it is. So if it's a type name, we should store the type name. If it's a struct, we should store the struct. Now, one thing that I have not yet thought about is that we are going to store within our database all the types, all the type names, right? Or we need some ability to know what the type name is or what a struct is. I'm overcomplicating everything. Just give me a quick moment. I want to be sure that I'm not doing something dumb. Okay, so if it's a member, okay, we're just going to run through this and see for a member what we need to do and code for each cases. Thank you for being understanding. I just can't assume that everyone will magically understand the why. Like I said, why or not, I don't really care. It's great to have you here, and I like you talking, but I also, well, I also understand the why. But anyway, love you. So, all right. So first thing that we're going to do is do type name, and if it is type name, we're going to remove the type name and only give this, right? So we're going to remove the type name, only give this, and we probably can do something useful with it, question mark, question mark. Yeah, we're going to do and think later, all right? So first of all, let's parse this. So if it's type name, we're going to remove type name. So here we do if I'm looking at other thing. Okay, and because we're at the end, we're going to be able to do continue. Or not, because we don't need to. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. All right. So we're going to do a match. So let's get the current tag. So the current thing that we're working on, which should be 4. So at position 4. And what we're trying to match should be this type thing. So type name, exactly. Okay. So if we have a match, match is able to search the start of the string. So it will search the start of the string. If it's type name, we go down this route. Now, here, we should seek to remove that type name, right? So we should seek to do something a little like this. So we do for, we do equal, and then I can just calculate the number of characters here and cut it out, right? So we can do this, this, and do we start at 0? No, we start at 1. 1 will cut this first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. So we do 9. So now we should start right after the type name, and we are able to have a clear name of the type that we're looking at here, right? So here we have member, type name. We will only have that part. So that's great because we're probably going to do something with that later on. So for now, we only have that. Let's, oh, I skipped this one. Let's look at this one now, just before. I'll have a quick look. You and your multiple accounts. All right. What up, Maple? What up, Maine? Anyway, hi, what up? Happy to see you. Q King, I'm back. Hi, happy to see you. Okay, struck. Here, oh, here we have the same thing for struck. So we're going to do the same thing, but instead of doing if, we're going to do elif. Elif. And a little bit of the same thing. So we do struct. Is this how it's written? Yes. Okay. And now let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a 7. Okay, so now we've cleaned our structs. Where am I clicking at? Right here. Okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. Now let's go to this. This would make sense. Again, this would make sense. Again, this would make sense. This would not make sense. Anon is not a real struct. It's an anonymous struct. So we probably need to clear this. Okay, we're going to replace it by none. And if it is replaced by none, we assume that it's an anonymous, right? That would be a great way to do it. So so for now, our system will clear that up. Now what we can check is if what we've created starts by this, then we should declare it anonymous. I think that's fair. Whoop. So if we start by __ anon, we replace the whole thing by anonymous. Let's do this. So here we take this. It's going to be a if. Here we go. If this is __ anon, yes, that makes sense. I'm over engineering. That's my big problem. This should equal none. Okay. So if it's type name, we put the type name. If it's a struct, we put the struct. If the struct starts by __ anon, that means that it's an anonymous struct. We don't have to put this in our database. We just have to signal it so that we know for the later stage how we're going to encode this, right? So this is why I'm putting none. We're going to be able to detect the none later on. What's an anonymous struct? Great question, my friend. I don't know. Am I skipping some people? Maybe try splitting your code in more file. It's easier to maintain. I'm currently splitting everything in a couple of classes, so I would be able to split it into file if I needed to. Anonymous structs, just to make it concrete, because even if like you know what it is, like sometimes it's not easy to understand, right? So here we have an anonymous struct, right? Because this struct doesn't have a name. We just have a struct, but there's no name over here, right? So normally, do we have another struct so that I can show? I think that's another anonymous struct. It has no name. Look, like this struct has a name, right? So the name is int tf. This one doesn't. So that's anonymous because no name. It instruct, may I inquire about your reasoning for the utilization of Python? Because it's easy. I ask because you seem to enjoy using it, and I am trying to get a wider gaze on my own complicated one, on my custom language. Well, I've worked with a lot of language. Well, work is a big word because I'm not a programmer. I've never done anything to this level. But Python is as close as you can get as a scripting language, and scripting languages are always simpler. So awk is simple because it is meant to be simple. Bash is simple because it is meant to be simple, right? So those things are scripting languages. They're easy things to work with because their scope is limited. Python has a little bit of this feeling. It's a little bit more forgiving. So that's why I like it. Well, great, because I am not normal and you are. I don't know if I am. If you know Bash, Python will be relatively easy to learn. Indeed, that's the thing, right? It's kind of it's easy to pick up, right? C, it feels penalizing to try to do more complicated things, but in Python, there's always a way to do it. You can do it in very bad ways. That's the issue with Python. With Python, it doesn't restrict how you do it, right? In C, you need to do it the good way, because if you don't, your shit is going to break. With Python, you can do it the filthy way. It will still work. So you just need to know whenever you're like doing some dumb patch and when you're actually doing something good. So that's why I don't know if we can see, but like it's V3 over there, and in reality I remade this code like 8 times. So the design has been refined a little bit. Okay, why use an anonymous struct? It is used to define some constant that should be initialized once. Here we go. We got the answer. It's just that no two pairs of eyes are the same. I can understand something complicated by nature, others may not. True? But Python is easy, right? The ability to be able to still do something even if you do it wrong, that's what makes it easy compared to C++ or probably a Rust. Couldn't say, I don't know. No worries, I have done 10 lines function 7 times, optimization, read on refine. That's exactly what we need to do. All right, let's just go down our list and go down our reading of all the members. So this would work, 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 this would work. Those are not the same thing. This, ooh, me seeing an issue. So here it says const struct and then the name of our struct. Now we have a decision here to make, right? Do we care? Do we want to put in our database that it is a const struct? Probably is important for us. Probably is. And this is in type name also. I don't know if struct will have the same issue. All right, I'll have to think about it. We'll read your comments for a couple of seconds. The issue with Python is the speed and random libs that somehow won't work after a reboot. Yep, that's the making things in the incorrect way. And then you gotta find how to do it correctly. All right. So we probably should detect a couple of things inside of type name. So if we then have, oh, but the order is going to be screwed probably, right? So let's just read a little bit more. Do we have other members? Member. We have arrays also that we need to detect. Here we have the star that we would need to detect. Oh, look at this shit. Man, oh man. I'll need to rethink this a bit. Yeah, that's why I don't like Python, JS, etc. It seems more like coding than programming. Yeah, well, that's what it is. All right. Python speed is fine and it works for most of work. Doesn't have to be performance intensive. I think that a big issue with Python is that people will do like a shit implementation of it and then they will complain that it's slow. Well, if you're doing things wrong, of course it's going to be slow. But in my personal use, after refining things a couple of times, I can parse the whole kernel in like 2 minutes. So yeah, it just works. Here I'm having an issue that I don't know how I'm going to square, right? Because we probably need to have some way to note somewhere that what we're looking for, what this file name, for example, this member, is a constant. It is a char. It is a pointer. That's what it is, right? When there's a star, it's a pointer, and it's a pointer to a const. Like all of that information needs to be stored. I could technically just store it inside of like a string inside of a couple of char of characters, but I feel like I'm underusing that data, right? I should be able to make links with that information. I should be able to search with that information, but I don't know if I'm overthinking it for where we are right now and I should just implement it and shut the fuck up about it. Hmm. Let's read some more. I like the awk program, but more powerful and readable and reasonable. Yeah, I like. Oh, sorry. I like awk. The website is made using awk scripts, but I mean, I received an email. I think it was yesterday or the day before, from somebody that says, "Hey, you've got some links that don't work." Well, they don't work because everything is made in awk, right? Python is also an interpreted language. If you want to optimize code that runs really fast, you should use a compiled language. That's true. The big thing where we can put like a little star is that Python has the advantage that a lot of it will be like when you use some complex function, it will probably be done by some C code or some compiled code somewhere. Um, So yeah, I think some people just hate on interpreted language because it's not pure. Um, Mega lol. Um, yeah, well, I think there is a reasonable way to hate those type of language. Isn't it Java that is interpreted, right? So if we go Wikipedia Java, like Java is interpreted, right? It is not truly compiled. It runs through the JVM. And personally, I've tried Java. It's absolutely shit. So I could understand how this garbage um, could taint the view of things, right? But like Java, what was its thing? It ran everywhere. It was a cool thing. It's the reason why we could play Minecraft on Linux. So yeah, we got to be happy about it somewhat. Let's put back the music. Let's go, Mozart. Okay. True. I remember. What was it? 16. let's let's go back down memory lane. Versions. No, not how to find your version. Version history. Here we go. Holy shit. Oh no, so that means that I've worked with freaking 8. No way. Feel like I'm not looking at the right thing. What was the version that I was playing Minecraft on when I was like a freaking toddler? It was, oh yeah, I remember 7 did not work, but 6 did. That was the thing. All right. All right. Okay, okay. I'm going down to uh I'm going down memory lane. Hot eds is are everywhere. I don't hate it, just not my fit. Is okay. I personalize utilize Lua for casual stuff. Yeah, Lua is probably good. Um, Nightmare. Ah, sorry, I was not aiding. Just put it down by point. Okay, it was rude. Now I see it. My bad. I don't think that nobody. I I think that we should all assume that we're not rude, okay, and that we have all the best of intention and that we're just trying to communicate. I know that we're all nerds with our own difficulties with speaking to other people. So, yeah, let's just assume that everybody loves each other and that we're giving out our points. So with that, we should be good to go. We should like not take anything personal. All right. Uh, anyway, so for now, I think I will just ignore all of that, right? So this, I'll add a big flag unfinished. Sorry, I'm getting spammed. I need to check. Is it an email about Politics? No way. All right. Oh, wow. Everything is an opinion, and opinions should be considered and merely pondered, not thrown with anger. True. No, I'm a member of my political party here in Canada, and they send a lot of emails. Of course, it's always for money, and I'll be happy to dish out some cash, but it's a lot. I listened to one of their meetings. It was kind of fun. It's fun getting some news from the people that you see on TV, right? The people that actually do shit and try to make your country a better place to live in. That to me is fun. It is. All right, so here we add a bunch of tags. We already have the code to delete it, right? Right? Anyway. Okay, so here we have the code to delete it. Yes, so this deletes. Now we should have the code to modify. Yeah, that was where I was stuck. At this point, my email is just a big support portal for my creation. True. What did I miss? Not a lot. We talked a lot about design, and well, the only thing of value is this. So we've changed the ctag command. Now it outputs what the fuck this is. So here, for example, when we have a member, we know that it's a struct. We know what type of struct it is. I'm not doing anything with that yet. I've just put and not like crash. And also, instead of being in like alphabetical order, it's now in order that things appear. So this will help the system, well, work. So for now, let's ignore this and actually implement everything else. So yesterday we were talking about var moron. Yeah. So we were checking. What were we checking? Oh yeah, that was the thing where I was stuck. So the big issue is trying to do things locally, right? So I have this system that kind of has the database inside of the Python program so that we can query it directly and not have to go to the actual database. So this makes things way faster, but it also limits what we can do, right? Because when we ask a database something, we can make connection between things, right? That's the goal of an SQL database. So right now the big issue that I'm having is I need to kind of think about, okay, I need to get this from this database and then this from this database in order to get that data and then put the data in and process it. So that's a little bit more complicated than just creating some perfect query in MySQL. So that's my issue right now. Thinking about it, a lot of individuals argue more instead of choosing to discuss opinions, uh, or maybe many just confuse the two. Yeah, most people when they speak, um, they don't, they don't want to not change their mind, but they've made up their mind, right? The way that people actually come to their opinions is media. It is looking things on the internet. Of course, grandma and grandpa will look things on Facebook, and they will believe it more than if you said it. That's just how things are, sadly. So we got to live with it. But yeah, this is why media is very important. Thank you, CBC. Thank you, Canada, for having an incredible public media. God damn. CBC came in clutch. I love them so much. Well, sometimes I hate them, but anyway. Yeah, dismal over consideration. Dismissal over consideration. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, I agree. it's just funny, right? Because people will get that content, they will look at it, and they would just assume it to be true. And when they come face to face to somebody who it's their field, right? They know what the fuck they're talking about. It will be like, I'm not going. They're not going to say that, but it's I saw it on Facebook, so it's true, right? It's what their mind like automatically goes to, and it's kind of dumb. And like probably for us younger folks, it would be I saw it on YouTube, okay, or I saw it on the reels, on the shorts, on the TikToks, right? I saw it there, so it must be true. But it's like, is it? So people needs like it's not something that people do, right? People are not when they're looking something, they're not being critical about what they're looking at, right? When they see some videos, they don't care about the framing of the video, they just absorb it inside of their brain. And I mean, I understand because it's a hard thing to look at something and and permanently be on your guard and be like, is this true? Am I being like am I being baited here? Is this rage bait? Is this person saying that if you don't make $150,000 a year, you're under the rate of poverty? Is this person for real? People work 40 hours a week. They don't have time. They don't have time or motivation to do that. The problem is, I don't think that it's that hard to do. Like I will admit, I am over the board into politics. I like reading about that thing. I like reading about the economy and those kind of things. That's a fun thing to me, right? I like it, but I understand that somebody um, who doesn't like that kind of reading and trying to get some data, trying to understand the actual issues, I can understand how it's easier for them to fall into a lot of traps. But at the end of the day, like I mean, there's a point where isn't it blatantly ridiculous, right? Like for example, it's that 150K a year. You're on if you make under that, you're poor. You're under the rate of poverty. What the rate of poverty should be. It's like, come on, dude. Like we know this is not true. Like if I made that, I oh man, if I made that, I would work like 5 years and I would retire. I would invest it all and live uh, at the rate that I'm living right now. I would be rich. Anyway, despite our tech improving all the time, everyone spends more time with their colleagues rather than their family. Um, I think that the big issue here is that a lot of people say that, and maybe you say that out of a like kind place and out of a genuine want of wanting to be with your family. But the truth is that yes, we're talking about anything but the code because right now I'm stuck and I'm probably going to think about it later. Um, but a big thing is I think that people are not honest about their wants, about what they truly want. Like they think they want something because a lot of people say you need to want that, but in reality, they don't really want that, right? So, one big example that I can say personally would be I always thought that having a kid, having my daughter would like fulfill me a lot. Like I would feel great having my daughter and being there for her and trying to be the best father that I can. But let's be freaking honest. It's shit. All right. Now I'm a single father, so maybe it is shittier for me, but goddamn. Changing diapers, having to stress about like your kid not being, maybe not speaking enough, maybe not being on par with another kid their age, and then you gotta find somebody to, you gotta find a kindergarten, you gotta like there's a bunch of shit, and we can say as much as we want that we want to be with our family, But the truth is, and I love my daughter, I love my daughter to death, but if I could find a kindergarten and I could not be with my daughter and not have to stress about the fact that there would be any kind of development delays because I'm not with her. Like if she was in a kindergarten, hell yeah, I would take it. Remove 2 hours of her with me so that I can do other shit. Man, I'm all in, right? So, like, did, what I just said is not something that you can normally say, right? Because it's not good. It doesn't look good to for me to say that, right? A lot of people will look at that and will say, like, do you hate your child, or like that's their inner thoughts. But the truth is, it's not that I hate my family. Is that when I want to be with my daughter, I want to be the best father ever, and I want to be able to be with her, and I want to be able to be there mentally and not have the pressures. So, like, if somebody, let's let's go back to the question that you said. Not the question, but the statement. Despite our tech improving all the time, everyone spends more time with their colleagues rather than their family. Personally, I would like prefer being with my colleagues than being with my, well, my family is only my daughter, right? So it would be being with my daughter with the little star in there that I would need like somebody to take care of her, right? So yeah, and that's not a bad thing. That's a net positive in my life. But will you see a politician saying that? Right? So then when you have that data point that says that, oh, less people, we spend less time with family and all that, and we have all those ills inside of our society, it's easy for some kind of politician that want to spin a narrative to use that and to make it look as if it's something that is very bad, when in reality, wouldn't it be normal that we spend less time with our family, right? If we can send our kids to school, if a woman doesn't have to just be baby producing machines that are always at home, and they can actually have a job, have the lives that they truly want. Because I know that we're all guys over here, but it's not fun to take care of kids, no matter if you're a woman or not. Anyway, I went on a rant. Rage bait. Look inside. International mental harassment. True. Did you see Linux Tech Tip videos with Linus Torvalds? Yes, I watched part of it. Um, I don't know. Those kind of things don't interest me. Sorry, as much. But yeah, I mean, Linus is a chill guy, and he, I just, how can I phrase this? I think that sometimes we want people to be much more than what they are, and Linus is just a unit when it comes to the kernel, managing the kernel, having all of these people work together, and being able to like orchestrate everything. He is a masterpiece for that, right? He is the king. But for everything else, I mean, he's just an old dev. That's all he is, right? There's nothing magical. KernelInfo dev stream and let's talk and economics. True. No, wait, I love it. You have better understanding of money than most. Most just get rich, then poor by spending it in one day. Well, yes and no. Um, oh man, it's complicated. I don't know how much I want to talk about this because I'm going to get on another spiel, and I don't want to be boring. Uh, yeah, single dad working 40 hours a week is insane pressure. It's not about literally spending times with your family. You could spend the extra time on something that brings you joy too. But working 40 hours per week limit you to an NPC life not worthy of the modern day. And I'm in IT. We are spoiled when it comes to that. I speak from construction workers rather. Lol, you are taking it too literally. I was I was expanding. I'm not saying that you said that, right? I'm just expanding. I should have made it clear, but I was just ranting at that point. You are taking too literally. You could replace friend and family. You could replace family with friends. Sorry, and it would not make a difference to the essential point: shorter working weeks. Oh man, I'll go into a spiel. Um, Linus, the computer one, was so fanboying, of course, and I would too, right? If I would record something with Linus, holy shit, I would fanboy the shit out, which is a good thing, of course. Yeah, true. Yeah, to I'm just going to go into my spiel. You know what? I'll just assume myself. I'll live with myself. I'll go into my spiel. I j- I understand what you're saying about shorter working weeks. I think that in a lot of things in life, people are not able to see um, people are not able to see some very simple trade-off. Um, I'm just trying to think about how I can frame this to make it very clear and not too offensive, because I know that a lot of people um, gets their feelings hurt, right? They don't like about it um, when we talk about it. We live in such a great time to be alive. We live in a time where you can have your phone, you have the internet, you have AI, you have all of these great things. And the reality is, if you want to, you can live a little bit like a 1950s person, right? I can spend nothing in my life. I haven't. Oh, is YouTube having issues? Not on my side. I'm sorry, it's on your side, my friend. F5. So you can decide not to. I suppose I can't state the truth based. Um, like when I'm spending things, I'm spending nothing on food. I haven't went to a restaurant in 3 years. I'm not doing any activities. I'm not doing. I don't have a fancy car. My car is way too old, and literally, I have some tires that I need to fill up the airs in them before going, because within 24 hours they empty out. So I live this life where I try to suppress, to remove as much of the cost of my life. And I'm able, with that, to have my own house, to have my daughter, and to have a life that is. I'm still. I have savings. I'm putting money away each month. So when I'm living this life of what I personally think is incredible luxury, right? And I'm not being paid a lot. I'm making under 50K for 40 hours a week, and I'm working on the weekend, all of that. So I don't know what is considered a lot to you, but I made this choice. I live in, well, when I bought my house, it was the cheapest city in Canada, the cheapest middle-sized city in Canada to live in, which is Trois-Rivières. Now it has changed, of course, but it was the cheapest city to live in. So I've got a cheap ass house on the cheapest city. I'm saving everything. I'm living with as limited a budget as I possibly can. So when people say to me, I'm not able to make things work, and there are two people working 40 hours a week, all that I can hear is, I don't know where to say no, right? I don't know if having the latest phone, or maybe having the latest phone after 2 years, is something that I should do. I don't know if I should go out with my friend as much. I don't know if I should do this. Like, life is full of these choice. It's just that I feel that people don't really appreciate that they have these choice. They only they push as much as possible with the money that they have, and then they complain that they don't have enough, but they don't understand that it's them pushing. They can, if they want, pull back. And maybe this is something because I'm like, I don't have a lot of friends. Well, I don't really have any, but who the fuck cares? So it's very easy for me to be like, yeah, I'm not going out. I'm not doing anything. Like my party life was done when I was like 20. So like maybe for me it's easy, and I understand that. And there's also another thing there. Saying to somebody that they're lucky is never going to change their mind. It's never going to make them feel good. So when I'm saying all of that, I'm not saying like you're lucky and you should feel bad. I'm saying you have the freaking power to make your life way simpler, way better if you just tell yourself, I'm going to live with that amount of money. I'm going to be content with that amount of money. And when I'm going to see people like bawling out and like putting money on the table, I'm going to say to myself, good for them, but I have some savings. My life is stable. Things are going well. And I'll just live life like that. So yeah, big rant. Let's let's read a little bit of comments. Me who just deleted all Promox VM config by accident on one of my home lab server. Based. Is YouTube dropping? Okay. Yeah, technology progresses. More people than ever travel, but purchasing a house is out of reach for lots of working class people. Again, we are in tech. We ought to have a good living wage, but the person waiting tables can barely get by. A nurse barely gets by. Oh man, we have a lot to talk here. Giga Chad. It was just about Polly Ans. Oh, politician from long ago. Just sorry, my brain is bugging out. It was just about a politician from long ago, just about the whole empty promise. Most, but certainly not all, do. Technology is not construction. I don't think that they were saying that. Not exactly one to one. That is, of course. I heard 50k is low, then I realized it's not euro. 50k euro a month is above average here. The whole house thing, for what I know, is caused by large company ownership. That's not true. That's a complete lie. Um, Please look into it. They don't buy that much houses, and it doesn't make sense. How can a company make money by buying a bunch of houses if they don't end up selling them, or if they don't end up renting them? If they do end up renting them, that means that there's a market for it. If there was a true market for buying houses, they would compete with these companies, and these companies would end up not making money on their rent because they would not able to get as much money on the fucking rent. Anyway, um, yeah, a broken system that panders to big businesses rather than the volonté générale, the volonté générale. Yeah, it's stupid as hell. Many individuals just want to exist. 50k in my place is crazy money. Depends on the country. I live in. Let's just translate a couple of things here, because 50k is not crazy money in Canada. But let's do CAD to. I think you're all euros people, right? I make 30k. All right, that's the thing. My euro friends, I make 30k. So I make a bit less than that in reality, but I'm saying under because I don't want to overestimate. With the YouTube channel, um, and with the support from the government, we can round it out to this. Okay. Um, Housing crisis is different everywhere. I think we should um, talk about that a bit more. I'll need to go pee, but I'll read this. I'm too addicted. I like reading comments. All right, I love you guys. 50k is crazy in Eastern Europe. True. Um, but the point stand. It's so fundamentally dumb. You're talking about the housing thing. I'll get into it. In Ukraine, reality is different in terms of money. I'm sure it does. God forbid you enjoy hair. True, breeding is a luxury. Um, we are the economy. The fact that money can be spent on tax cut, but not on poor people, is a choice. Oh man, we have to talk about this. Give me 5 seconds. I have to go pee before I die, and after that, we talk about both of those things. So I want to talk about the housing crisis. Let's write it down up there. So housing um and tax cut. Oh man, I have too much to talk about it. Give me a quick second. All right, folks, let's talk. My god. Let's not die in that water. You see, the government is killing me. All right, we're reading. We're reading a bit before I die. Now, now that we're alone, did anyone do something nice? God forbid you just want some simple silence and delight in just existing as a structure of atoms. True. I'm being a populist to bait maple. True. My real opinion is slightly more nuanced, but I still think 10% of the strongest should can carry most of the burden. No need to lick their boot. Okay, I understand that, and we're going to come back to this. I think we should start with housing as a subject because I have a lot of EU people right now, and oh boy, you need to understand a couple of things. um, Depends on what range for nice you have. Oh, okay. Q King. You were answering Q King. Okay, I'm dumb. Sorry. I really don't know. Just asking. Lol. Okay, so you're just asking. What the fuck we're doing? Oh, so you made some pasta. That's great. I have decided my whole life goal is to do the dirty work so no one else have to. So because sometime you just got to do it. True. This is exactly how I think. Um, nice. Same. The pasta. Housing in NL. Netherlands, right? That's what you're saying. NL, you're from Netherlands. I'm not being dumb, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's just put the audio again. We like the I'm looping, but I like it, okay? For example, creating true open source software tools for individual to just use it. Not the best, not the worst, just the functionality. I agree that this is a good thing to do, and this is what I want to do, right? Because I saw that this was an issue that I had, that I did not have some simple software, so that's why I'm doing it. Social housing is actually a great thing, but Netherlands totally neglected building houses. The reasons they are fucked is because of the laws regarding nature and preservation laws. I would agree that this is a problem in a lot of countries. Or like now, creating very cheap GPU hardware and software. Of course, that's a great project to have. Um, like they aren't allowed to build in many places because of restriction they've put upon themselves. I agree, that's a big problem. Providing capabilities for other individual to enjoy my work, adapt it. I agree. That's a good thing to do. And Q King backs this comment's deleted. Let's run into it, okay? Let's actually talk about this. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm probably speaking too off mic. Sorry. So housing. I think that our generation is kind of fucked on housing for one reason. One big reason. Expectation. All right. So let me just split two things right now. Two big things, okay? So the first thing is in Canada and in the US, I think that this is probably a North American thing, probably in Mexico too. There is this expectation that if you do not own a house, if you do not own a house when you're like 22, you're a loser, okay? You live in an apartment? What a fucking loser, all right? So this is insane, right? We cannot have everybody live into a house and be near the big city and to have this big ass fucking land. Like you would look at my backyard and you would be like, are you like a king? Are you like a millionaire? No. This is a standard ass backyard for Canadians. So there is this insane expectation where it is socially bad to not have a house. And not everybody needs to have a house. So this needs to come off. And the issue that I see is this expectation is not only like it is seeping in the EU too, right? It is getting there because a lot of people look at things that comes from outside of the EU, that comes from the US and Canada, and they see this expectation. They think it's a default to have a house. So this thinking is infecting a lot. So that's one issue, right? Now there is some other issues where people seems to think that it should be way too easy to have a house. Like retardedly easy. When you're out of school, you should be in debt. Okay, when you're out of university, you should be in some kind of debt. And if you're not, you should not be balling out on a house. Okay, you should probably work a lot in order to get a good salary and then be able to get that house, right? You shouldn't have a house when you're in your 20s, at least not in the early 20s like I am. Okay, I am the extreme example of the guy that is the only type of guy that could maybe buy a house. And even then, I would say that I was way too young to buy a house and I shouldn't have. All right. So, no, I don't think that student being in debt is cool. You've triggered me. Okay. You've baited me. So, what I'm saying here, okay, is we have a couple of problems. We have too high of an expectation for should I have a house in the first place and when I should have a house. It is ridiculous to think that you can get out of school, get a job, and the year after get a house. This is unhinged, okay? No. This is not possible. So, and just to be clear, this was never possible in history, okay? Before, when people say, oh man, they were able to buy these houses on one income and have their family of four and shit. No, 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 okay? Just look back, look at it. People that were able to do this had a bit more money. And the other were pulling off all their fucking cash to do this. The only thing they had in their life was their house. So I understand that it's triggering that people with houses have accumulated a lot of wealth. And I think that that's a cancer, right? Housing should be to house yourself. It shouldn't be an investment. I believe that it's cancerous, and I'm somebody who would win a lot for this, right? I would win a lot to have housing as an investment, and it technically is, sadly, but it shouldn't be. I would be all in with the price of houses going down in Canada, even if it fucks me, because I believe that more people should be able to attain housing. But our expectations are too high. We cannot all live near the city and with a house and with a big place. That doesn't make sense. That's impossible. Let me just read a couple of things and get triggered. Oh man. So I'll be able to answer a little bit of the triggerness, I guess. Okay. Um, yeah, our range of existence is burdening, but as I said, whoop, are we still here? It crashed. Are we still here? I think we're still here, right? Okay, you would be yelling, I'm sure. Okay. Thank you. I love you. Okay? It crashed on my side. I'm just going to put pause on my preview. Okay. Shit, I need to come back. Okay, but as I said, sometimes you just gotta do it. True. If you don't own a house, okay. I've never cared to judge. This should be the default. It is not the default in Canada and the US. But Spain does social housing pretty well. The percentage of social housing is slightly higher in Spain. The speculative housing market is absolutely pushing prices, and the lack of social housing is not helping. Um, I think I'll read this and I'll just note down a little bit the things that I want to talk about. So I'm not like I'm not skipping you. It's just that I want to be sure that I'm not like answering 15 times. Um, I just care if you're happy or not. I am. Europe and Canada are so different in this. True. 562K is the average price for a house here, and it's getting worse. I don't know. Average price house Canada. Well, let's be honest. So we're similar. Do you think students being in debt is cool? Because I think studying should be free. Studying needs to be free. Uh, that's a complicated question, right? And before anybody gets triggered, okay? I'm not saying triggered like as you're a snowflake. I'm just saying that I understand the feeling, okay? Um, we shouldn't be in a society where the price of studying or going to university is limiting somebody from going there. So we need some kind of ways to help people study, to have investment in our universities and our higher education, because just default, nobody should be limited. No matter if you're poor, you're rich, you should be able to go. My issue is that we also must not create a society where we have people that overuse, that are overeducated, in a sense that we would like pay for courses, pay for them to be in university in perpetuity, but not produce anything of value. And when I'm saying that, I'm not being like the type of guy who's like, oh, if you don't construct anything, you're not making value. No, no, no. If you're in university, you're making a bunch of studies, you're in research. That's great. I'm all in for it. Um, but we still need to have some kind of stop to people, what I would call abusing the system, right? Because if you're at your sixth university course and you're never going to get some kind of job, you're just going to stay in university until you die, and you're never producing something real of value, well, why should we pay for that? Why should we have to put your why should we put that in front of everybody else, right? So there should be some kind of limitation there. Now, how should we go about it? It's kind of complicated, right? Now we go into policies and all of that. But I think that just to not go into policies, we should all agree that no matter how poor you are or where you come from, you should be able to go to university to try to find like your thing. That should be a default. Studying needs to be free. Wow, you bought a house and have a daughter in your early 20s. Absolutely. Bro is a trad dad. Yeah, that's what I wanted to be. What a mistake. It's the same stupidity as school. For example, I have gone through school. I was kind of the only one that took it seriously. I have learned zero, void, void pointer. I have self-taught in everything. Yep. So yeah, modern school is totally a place to learn like old school. Um, I think that whew, it's a weird thing for me, right? Because the older I get, the more the more I the value of school becomes weird because the less what we learn is important to me, and the more the social aspect of it is important. So high school and well, primary school or whatever the name of your of your school is. Over here is secondary school, not high school. But anyway, those school, right? They're very important for the social, for being in a society, for understanding how to interact with other young people and other people in general. So that's very important. And in my opinion, that's probably more important than everything else that you learn in school. The being able to talk to another human being and live in a society, that's like the core thing. Because everything else, you don't learn anything of value. Almost, right? You learn almost nothing of value in school. And I don't even know if it's possible to learn anything of value. I mean, life is so complicated and we each go into our own like separate things, and 99% of what we learn will always be thrown to the trash. So it's kind of weird. Lots of young people in houses would probably be from middle class families. Yeah, I would put myself in upper middle class family. I've went to private school, so I have been with the rich all my life, okay? With the rich, very rich people, like rich you don't even know, okay? Um so yeah, I've tasted a little bit of everything, let's just put it that way. Um got a little cash injection from mommy daddy. A lot of people it's that way. Oh shit, I think it's scrolled down a lot. Okay. Yeah, fair enough, but renting shouldn't be half your wage. Renting is an expensive. Buying is expensive. True. I think we're going to come back to shit to this real soon, but I just want to read a bit more. Oh, city prices? That's getting to the 1 million euros. Yep, city prices are going to cost a lot. Welcome to Linux Parliament. True, Parliament. Totally not just a company that provides knowledge and test if you have memorized says knowledge. Yeah, that's pretty much disappeared for a little. Okay. A typical Linux experience. Yeah, about the bugs, lol. Yeah, reality has not struck the serves with neutrons yet. I don't get it. Sorry for the second part. That phrase is separate. Okay. Oh, such deals. Studying can't be free. It is in Belgium and Finland and other countries. Limit to everyone studying entrance exams. That would be an idea. So I don't propose any policies for that. I haven't researched anything. It's just like I I see it a little bit like any markets, right? If you make something free, it's going to be a little bit abused, so you need to have some kind of ways to restrict it in order to for it to be able to thrive and to keep its quality and to keep its cost low. All right. It's funded by taxes. Of course it is. Oh, I totally forgot the debt. Just the pretty sprinkle on top, hey? Like wasting your whole youth wasn't enough. Be right back. Hi. I I don't know. We can go real deep in there. Yeah. First you get told this is required to succeed, then you do it, fail to get a job with sociology, and you're in debt. Life left my left my ass up. God damn, I'm dying. Nobody wants limitless free education, just the people who succeeds at it if they attempted it. Um, Not sure that I understand what you mean there, but anywhere. Anyway, I I'm just going to take the first part. Nobody wants limitless free education. I'm sure we can agree on that. I'm just I'm just reiterating the need for some kind of limitation because when we say free something, um, it will often become like a dumb debate about oh it should always be free and there should be no limitation into it. So that's why I'm not fully against debt, right? If you are going to study to be like this very great big uh, if you're going to study to be a doctor is not a great example. An AI engineer, okay? Let's take that example. If you're studying to be an AI engineer, you're going to rake in the fucking cash, okay? You're going to rake in the money. So I'm just sorry, but we need a way to make ourselves whole, right? So either we increase taxes or like something needs to happen so that things can be balanced. So I wouldn't feel bad about them being in debt, right? I would just not, because then it would feel so unfair to the person that has not studied. So that person that has not studied, that has worked all his life and has paid taxes, they paid taxes for this other person to go, and this other person gets all the benefits while they don't get shit, right? So there's that like balance that needs to be kept. And I'm saying this, and in Canada, we are, I believe, if it's not the most educated population, we are in the top of it, right? I think that half of our population has post-secondary education. I don't, so I'm a fucking loser, and I need to like go grab the bottom of the barrel jobs and try to make myself as useful as possible so that I can, well, live. So I think I saw a little bit earlier people being like, "Oh, well, now I cannot find a job even with my degree." The truth is, you just having a degree is already a big up. It's already better than the guy who doesn't. And I know that it feels shit to hear, but when you're out of school with your degree, you still need to start somewhere. And that start will be shit. It will be the bottom of the barrel in something near what you're doing, not even what you're technically formed to do, but you're near what you're doing. And this is going to feel like shit. It's just that maybe it's the other side that's overselling it, right? Because there's some people that will say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be right out of the school and you're going to make so much money." That's not true, right? That's not true. You're going to start at the bottom of the ladder and it's going to be shit for a few years, but your growth potential is way higher. My growth potential is capped, right? I need to suck up as much as I can and look good as much as I can in order to get anywhere, right? Which is I have less liberties in that case, right? So I'm just saying, when my daughter is going to be there, I'm going to absolutely make sure that she goes through some higher learning. Um. All right. Yeah, first you get told that this is required to succeed, then you do it, fail to get a job with sociology and debt, laugh my ass off, nobody wants limited free education. What's ironic? Guess what I learned? From the best library, the internet, and my own autistic curiosity. True, we need Ned here. True, can somebody add him? Where the fuck is Ned? Is he in the server right now, or he's offline, right? Yeah, he's offline. Okay. Anyway. Also, you want the true scale of how thin the provided knowledge is. I learned more math concept in 3 days last month out of curiosity than what school has provided to my whole life. I agree. I apologize for the harsh corners, but I have quite some frustration and disappointment. I do too. Um, I think that you're correcting, well, not correcting, but you're re explaining what you said earlier that I did not understand. The people who do well should be able to continue. I agree. I agree that they should be able to continue, but we need some point where you are adding to society, right? Because there is a way to use it and to be absolutely useless. Just like there is a way to use healthcare and to be just a waste, right? You could go in to the doctor each month asking for blood sample, asking for this, asking for that, and just being an absolute piece of shit to the system, just overusing the shit out of it, right? So we need some kind of scale back. We need some kind of penalty. We need some way that this is not abused, but also keeping the people that should be there. And I think that we agree, right? It's probably just my wording um, that is harsh, but this is because I'm an uneducated twat that, of course, has a very harsh opinion. Hi, my friend. Um, I am studying to become a prompt engineer, the best in the business. Who, the prompt engineer? So you're the person that I was absolutely trashing about. The cost isn't the issue; it's just a company. They literally drag you into it. Oh, don't worry, just take it. Um, if you're talking about education, it depends. We need a place to. It's dumb. I know that it sounds dumb. We need a place to store adolescents, teens. We need to store them somewhere. Okay. We need to have a place where they can speak, socialize, and not become absolute insane people. So this is important. This is why they exist. And just saying that it's a company, that probably depends on where you are in Quebec. At least it is. A lot of it is publicly owned and it's publicly regulated a lot. So like, I mean, I think that in the high school level and the secondary school level, it's pretty great. It works great, and for over that, for post-secondary school education, well, I mean, of course, we can pinpoint somewhere where, oh, this doesn't work or this doesn't work, but overall, um, you still have very, very good result from studying. The person that will study, that will get their diploma, will get paid more. No matter what, like no matter what, they will always get more money. It always pays off. It's always positive. So I understand that it's shit. I understand that it's not perfect. We can always improve it. But again, if you were looking in the eyes of your child, if you were to tell them what should they do, I would tell them, go the fuck to school and stay there for a long time. University, go. All right. But then the risk is only carried by poor people. You are stubborn in an upper middle class family. You being in debt is not you ruining your life. You talked about your debt risk for studying in a way that isn't the same for someone with poor parents. That's the whole issue. Um, okay, that's something else. This is why spoiled kid studying art history. Yes, the stereotype. Okay. Um, I don't know if anybody cares about my history, but maybe I can talk a little bit about. Um, uh, I can say a little bit about it, and maybe it will inform you on how I think about things. Um, so yes, I come from upper middle class, rich, call it what you want, the scum of the earth that I call it, okay? Middle class is a fucking cancer, okay? It is, okay? When you are outside of the middle class for 5 minutes in your life, you will see how triggering it is to hear the middle class speak. Um, so I understand what you mean there. I just think that we're not talking about specifics, and that's probably the issue. Okay, first, I'll just run through real quick about my history because it will maybe make a little bit more sense. So, before I had my daughter, I was with my wife. Yes, I was married. I had, of course, just bought the house. My wife got pregnant. Then I tried to make, I quit my job because I wanted to become a dev and do a bunch of things. That failed miserably, okay? I got a shitload of debt. Like going to lose the house debt, okay? And then I pretty much cut everything of my life. I stopped enjoying everything. I cut my spending to zero. I was at a point where I was so fucked that even if I did not eat, I did not put any eating in the house. I did not spend anything. I would still have difficulties paying back my debt because it was credit card debt and it was idiotic. But anyway, I would still have difficulties paying back this debt. And then, by the grace of Justin Trudeau, year of our Lord, 2023, when my daughter was born, of course, in Canada, we don't have to pay anything when when you have to deliver a baby. But I started getting some help from the government because, of course, having a kid in Canada, they give you, at the time, it was $500 a month. And after that, it was, well, this year it's $600 a month. So I was getting money from the government, and this small chunk of money allowed me to survive and pay back my debt to the point where I am today able to, like, save money and live normally. So I I know that I'm triggering coming from a middle upper class background, but I think I have some understanding of how fucked financially things can be. Now, coming back to education, when I'm talking about debt for education, I'm talking about a specific kind of debt. Most countries, when you have debt for education, it is different from any other kind of debt that you have. It is a debt with crazy low interest. It is a debt that you don't have to pay back until you actually have a job or until you're actually out of that studying phase. It is a debt that is overall a debt that if my daughter were to go study into school and she would not need to get in debt, I would still ask her to take the fucking debt and to invest the money because it is so advantageous, right? So with that, right? With that inside of my mind, this is my default. This is what I'm expecting the type of debt to be. This type of debt is not something that would push back somebody incredibly poor, even when you come from a poor family, from studying. Could it be something that makes them fearful because their parents tell them, never get into debt, debt is always bad? Maybe, right? Maybe. But that part I cannot control, right? The government cannot really control that. They can like try to message on it to make it clearer, but like this type of debt that is a very easy, very non-problematic type of debt is what I'm assuming when I'm saying there should be some kind of cost. Because this kind of cost, what it would say is, hey, if you're good in school, you can go at it as much as possible. But there is going to be a point where we assume that you're going to use what you're doing for good. And this would also mean that I would be for, let's say you're studying into university and then you take a government study, a government research job. I would completely be for us paying the debt, like the government saying, as part of you working for us, we are going to lower your debt. Like that would make sense to me. That's something that I would be okay with. So, like, there's ways to do it. I'm just being clear-eyed about the idea that we need to find a way to not overuse it. All right. That is ruining your life. You talk about this free studying. Isn't the same. Oh yes, start is shit for sure. That too. To the stereotype. Okay, my stupid mind thought of risk 5 instantly. Me too. No, it's not about education. It's the thing around it. For example, rooms or snack. When it comes to your daughter, I have not no say nor never intended. This is just my side and experience, and it's quite naive towards truth. When I'm talking about her, I'm not saying that anybody like insulted me. I'm just never think that I'm offended or that I'm insulted. I'm just speaking what I think is true, right? Um, you should go to school because you really have no choice. Do best while actually learning in the same time. Yes, but this is a specific thing. Um, when looking at my daughter, at least for now in my head, I won't really care about her grades. Of course, she needs to have passing grades, right? But when she's going to be there, what will be more important for me will be her social life there, right? I would want her to be able to, of course, communicate with everyone at her school. I would want her to, it's dumb to say, but to have partners, to have guys, to have some experience, right? Because I did not have that, right? I was a virgin coming out of high school. I told myself, don't go out with any girls because, well, statistically, most guys, they're going to dump their girl before or in high school, so it's a waste of time. I'm not going to like focus this, focus on this. I think that I'm probably talking about something else. But anyway, I'll just uh, finish this to make it make sense, right? When I was young, in my head, I was like, I'm not going to waste time with girls when I can just be the best person and study like a motherfucker and like make money when I'm out, and then I will find my women and I'll be happy ever after. Well, what a fucking failure, because I wasn't able to find somebody of quality because I had no idea how to find somebody. I had no experience with people. I had no experience with girls, right? So I took the wrong person. I got fucked, and now I'm a single father. So there's a balance here, right? And maybe I'm over indexing a lot, but that's the issue. We need to think about all of this. But That too, schools certainly do not even provide a crumble of knowledge about debt nor credit debt. Yeah, that's an issue. Very impressive how you managed to have time to stream. Well, technically, she's sleeping right now. Um, and we're probably running out of time for this because, yeah, it's been a long time streaming. And do YouTube? Well, that's what sleep is for, okay? God gave us kids that can sleep. So, thank Lord. Um, that isn't bad. It's just a number of what you have borrowed. What bad is when you don't hold the spring hose nor how to catch it. I don't get the analogy, but I'm going to say what is bad is when you do it for nothing, right? Debt can be useful when it gives you something. The debt I have on my house is useful because I have my house. It's that simple. If the debt on my house was higher of what my house is worth, then it would not be good debt because I would be fucked. It would be a bad investment. Yeah, but you haven't really addressed that a lot of Nordic countries offer their people a lot, and USA people are poor and in debt. I probably agree a lot with Nordic countries and the way that they run things. Um, there's a lot to go down there. Like they don't have study debt. They don't have infinite students. They don't pay high premiums. They have decent wage, decent lives. I would agree. I mean, yeah, I would agree. I'm just going to run. King, if you're still in there, love you. I'm very happy to have seen you and to be able to talk a bit with you. So we'll see each other later, but bye bye. Those comments are pointing toward past stuff you said. Yes, so a little bit out of context. Probably talking about the virgin stuff. Uh, um, uh, you can consider reproduction when you have a life. Uh, you can sustain more life. See ya, shearskin. Thank to you all as well. Okay, okay. The system, how it's built, how we do things. I probably agree a lot with the Nordic system, right? They have a great way to do it. I think that Canada has a great way to do it as well. Um, like yeah, I don't know how they fix their infinite studying issue. They probably have some way to fix it, or maybe they just bite the bullet and say fuck it, that's a cost that we're willing to have. Then you know what, if you're telling me that this infinite student is not a real issue and you can point to it not existing without any limitation in the system, I'm all in, right? I'm all in. I understand your rational point of view, don't get me wrong. It is okay, I see your correction. It is not rational to tell poor people in the United States that decent health care is out of reach for them. It's just a lie. Okay, well, you always have scroungers. It's always a small percentage. Okay, so talking about the scroungers, I think you're talking about the student thing. I understand that. And again, I think that we agree in all. It's just that I'm saying that some limitation is not bad if it helps fixing like a problem with people that are not useful to society. But if we can show that there is this percentage is so small that it doesn't matter, I'm all in for not making any restrictions. I'm all into zero debt studying. So I'll put that out. Um, to be honest, I take delight in this casual talk. True, I too. Again, no two pairs of eyes are the same, and every opinion is a bright star in the shadow of naivety. True! People take advantage of systems like social security, healthcare, education. It happens, but is negligible. Well, we need to create a system so that it is negligible, right? We can limit the percentage of art history student based. What a solution. So genuinely, thanks for the other views. Well, I'm happy that I can talk about it. But yeah, I agree. In most system, the abuse is negligible, right? It just is. So that's great. But we need to keep in mind that the abuse isn't there because currently, well, under most system that I know of, under most government, we over-index on protecting against abuse, right? We make it so hard for abusing anything that it it doesn't happen, right? So I'm all for loosening that up and also making the system better, but we must not lose sight of reality, right? We need the environment that we are creating to be a better environment. Except tax abuse, that is basically legal. We could talk a lot about that. I think that I just want to, just before um, we go forward, you talked about speculative housing. I just don't think that it's such an issue because, and maybe I'm vibing this out too much and I don't have a lot of data to prove it, but in Canada, we banned people from other countries buying into our markets because it was a meme that haha the Chinese are buying all the houses and the houses are and the house price is going up. Well, it turns out that it really doesn't change anything because when you buy a house, when you buy a condo, when you buy some place to live, people will usually either rent it or live in it. Because, or else, this is a big waste, right? You're paying taxes on it, you're paying to make sure that it doesn't burn down, you're paying insurance, you're paying all of this. So, why would you pay all of these costs without having some kind of revenue attached to it? And like saying, oh, the revenue is just the value going up and it goes up enough that it makes it worth it. Yes, but we're talking about some like very few generational shift where it happens to go up insanely high at some specific place. I don't know. I don't see this as true. I like the reason why I'm saying this is because if that was the case, there would be a stock, okay, that I could buy that would have made 400% return because they bought all the fucking houses, okay? And that stock doesn't exist. So if it did exist, I would be buying it. Give me that stock, all right? I'm all in for a 400% return. So that's why I don't think speculative purchases in housing is really an issue. Like, is the broader vision in the US and Canada that housing is an investment, is that an issue? Absolutely, right? This is toxic. But is like some people buying it like as an investment vehicle without renting it? Is that really? Does that I would need to see some real data because a lot of people are like saying, "Oh, there's some company buying them," and you look into it and it never makes a concrete point. It never makes what it says it makes. So it's kind of frustrating to hear. Okay, you said tax abuse. Maybe we'll get into that. It also provides insight of what my mind have not experienced nor learned hidden options I didn't know I could consider. We're all the same machine, but inputs and different outputs, but inputs and different inputs, you get different result. Yes, completely agree. And I think that's the big issue, right? When I did the best that I had with the information that I had, but if I were to reset, I would not do the same thing. Like I would wait a lot. I would wait a lot before having children. I think this is something that, as a guy at least, it is very easy for us to push that the fuck back. Like I could have waited into the 30s before doing that, and I would be doing something else right now. So it's kind of frustrating, but Hey, I'm here now. I'll live with it. You sound like a very wise person who is worth listening to. I try to be. I do too much research sometimes about some things. Um, my daughter, I think, is not chilling right now, so I'll bring her out. We'll see what happens, but we're probably soon going to have to end the stream. So I'll just make sure that she is alive. If she has woken up, I'll bring her out. So give me 1 minute. Hi. So let's hope that my daughter doesn't kill this. Okay. Let's put ourselves into some other mode that is entertaining for her. All right. All right. Look at yourself. Whoop. All right. Yeah. Don't play too much with that. People are not going to love you that much. Okay, I don't think that we have a choice here. Okay. Gotta do what you gotta do. True. Sure. Quick, we can gossip about him behind his back. True. Did you see his hair? Total mess. True. His daughter has a cute jacket. Do you have a cute jacket? Yes, you do. Um, that's what I say. Oh, you're vibing a bit here. Okay. His beer is magnificent, inspirational even. I disagree. I hate it. I hate it. I want to shave it all the time. Don't purse. Don't. Perce pas ça, mon chat. Haha, bro is doing the reverse gossip, actually saying nice things behind his back. True! Apologies, I am unable to lie. Aw, wow, cutie. You've got some. Yeah, you're destroying their ears, my friend. Okay, okay. Okay, love. Okay. Okay, we're going to jump now. We're going to jump a bit. Okay, you can look at your little head, having fun. All right. Okay. Reality is always staring down my neck with raw truth. Okay. Okay. Go have fun a little bit. Go have fun. Dad's going to come soon. Okay? Look, there's your friend. There's your little friend. No, not the mouse. Battling for control. Okay. So last subject that I wanted to go in before I quit it until she needs to sleep was taxes, okay? taxes is so triggering to me because I feel that we can do so much good things with taxes that we don't do, right? We could. Oh man, I did the calculus once, and in Canada, if you boost taxes on everyone for 1%, we would have enough to eradicate obesity. We could give Ozempic to everyone. Oh man, why are we not doing that? Right? Anyway, I think that we're not going to be able to get anywhere here. But to me, it seems like we should just bump the taxes. We should just pay more. And I'm in for the middle class paying more. I'm in for me paying more. Okay? I'm considered poor over here, and I don't give a fuck. Okay? Make me pay more. I want obesity to be gone. I want my daughter to have the best schools. I want my daughter to have the best healthcare. How has your day been, if I may inquire? I think not enough individual considers others' mental health. Well, my day is going great. Right now well, I'm not working today. There's been some issues with uh, some water valve that has burst, but apart from that, I'm doing great. But that's the Omoning special, I guess. So, never a casual hug, just for the sake of a hug. True. Do you like hugs? You don't? You like being in control, little demon. Is that what you like? Where are you going, love? Okay. Oh. Yep. Sorry for that. Anyway, I think that's going to be all for today. Well, not for today. We're going to see each other at 6:30 p.m. But for now, I'll play with her. And I don't know, we might see each other tomorrow if I'm able to. And yeah, it was very fun being with you. I really enjoyed it. I'll end this while being like this. Bye. See us later, okay? Take care. That's going to be the way that we end this. But yes, it was very fun, okay? I loved you all. It was fun talking about taxes and shit and education. I hope that we can have more of these talks. So come with your subjects, and we're going to try to make 2 lines of code together a little bit later. So see ya, folks. Do we do a bye-bye? Do we do bye-bye? Bye-bye! Oh no, don't be sad about bye-bye. Okay, bye.